Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show, number 291.
Well, hello again. It's the OhioRAAM Show, the show that tries to put the ultra and ultra cycling. And we're here today with Rick Zwetsch, and we're going to talk about VRAAM, VRAW, and all the other V's that are going around these days, and try to have a good time. Be sure to check the show notes. There'll be things there that you'll want to see about Rick. And also, we want to always thank our people here in Ohio who work at the time stations. They do such a great job. They're going to be furloughed this year, and they're sad about it, I can tell you, because they love spending 36 hours without sleep, just like some of you on crews do, just to be able to stand alongside the road for a few seconds and give you a shout. So thank you, crews. Great place to watch the race when we have one. So with that, we're going to go out to Rick in Boulder. Rick, thanks for trying this again.
Oh, you're welcome, Lee. Thank you. It sounds right this time. I think we'll be much better off.
Let me just say, for the audience's sake, we had Rick recorded once before, and he was getting some echo. That's not feedback. This is echo, where there's a delay or something. And I can tell you from having worked in audio for a long, long time that there's nothing so hard as trying to talk into an echo. I've known a few radio announcers who could do it. Poor Rick, I'm just going on innocently, thinking everything's okay, until I listened to the recording and I thought, oh my Lord, he sounds like he's been down at the pub much too long, or something's wrong. Thanks, Rick, for coming back.
You're welcome, Lee. And I was trying to speak slowly so that I could, comprehend what I was saying ahead and behind what I was saying, and it just didn't work that well. So thanks for having me back.
Well, interestingly enough, I was recording something from our church this morning using the same technology, and I had the echo. And I finally gave up, and I said, if we can't solve this, I cannot go on. But okay, well, that's enough of that. But just to say that we're dealing with the internet, there's so many things that neither Rick or I can control. And it's out there. But thanks, Rick. Listen,
You're
Rick,
welcome.
tell us a little about yourself, your cycling background. And we did this all once before, but what we're going to be doing this year.
Well, we actually live in Longmont, Colorado, which is a little bit northeast of Boulder, but it's very close to Boulder. And my partner Karen and I, we've lived here in Boulder County for 15 years or so now. We own a consulting company called Intersector Partners L3C. The L3C is a socially purposed form of limited liability company. So we are organized by state statute to put social purpose before profit. And we work with mostly nonprofit organizations, but we've worked with some for-profits, helping them to become more socially responsible. We help nonprofits become more sustainable, helping with things like strategic planning, merger exploration, social enterprise development. We do executive search. We've worked with over 120 different nonprofits in the last 11 years, mostly here in Colorado, but some around the country as well. And I have been, into cycling, since I could ride a bike, but back in 1982, I rode the very first MS 120 here in Colorado. And I rode it primarily because it was a long 2-day bike ride. I didn't know anybody with MS at the time. And since then have ridden in 27 bike MS events here in Colorado. Both Karen and I currently ride on a team sponsored by Left Hand Brewing company here in Longmont. The Team Left Hand Brewing started back in 2008, and since 2008 has raised just about $4.5 million for our friends and family living with MS. They have teams in 8 states. I actually have a team in Ohio, and I've been riding on that team since 2012. But I got interested in Race Across America back in '82, which is, of course, when it launched, and thought, oh, you know, that'd be pretty wild to do that. But when I watched the documentary that was on ABC Wide World of Sports, I thought, yeah, I'm going to eat dinner on a tray on my bike and do all that? Probably not. Well, fast forward, you know, doing a lot of the MS rides kind of got me interested in doing long rides. And we were over some friends of ours' house back in the summer of 2017. And our friend Brenda said, hey, Rick, you know, that's a pretty wild race there. Would you ever think about doing that? And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, and then I started, you know, we're doing RAM every year, and I was getting back into it and following it. And I thought, you know what? I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm 60. At the time, I was 61. I'm going to set a goal of doing RAM in, I guess it was 3 years at the time. So met with a friend of a friend who had done Team RAM back in 2007, I think. And he said, you know, if you're going to do RAM, one of the things you have to do first is you have to find a way to crew and crew RAM. So in 2018, I, at the very last minute, was asked to crew for Shauna Hogan. And so we had a successful crossing that year. She set the women's 50 to 59 record. And so then I was supposed to do RAM in 2020, and talking to my coach Marco and a few other people, we thought, you know, let's walk before we run and do raw. So the plan was to do in real life raw this year. And now, of course, there's no in real life raw or RAM or lots of other ultra cycling races. So I am registered to do VRAW, which will start a week from Tuesday.
Wow, that's coming fast. I've been working with it a little bit here. What's your name on there, Rick?
I'm Team Z. Team Z, the letter Z. And I'm on the raw. You know, we're doing all the testing right now, so I'm on the raw.
You're on the test match. Right. Okay. Yep. Well, I've been trying to figure this daggone thing out. I've got a couple people working on doing some reporting. We don't know how we're going to do this, Rick. You don't know how you're going to write it. We don't know how we're going to report it. Crews don't know how they're going to crew it. This is just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Well, we're gonna set up. You know, I'm gonna set up a Zoom, a camera, and do some things. And of course, Karen is my crew for VRAW, and we're gonna try to make it so that you know, I can talk to people and text and do Zoom and do little short video snippets. You know, I've done a fair number of long trainer rides, and it really helps to have something to take your mind off the fact that your bum is on the seat and you're not going anywhere.
have all the pain, but none of the glee, right?
Yeah. Pretty much no wind in your face. Now, granted, you know, there's none of the heat and the bugs and the crappy road and.
Or no dogs in West Virginia.
No dogs.
Well, yeah, I guess it has its pluses and minuses. Well, we're going to try to report on it here.
That'd be great.
Meg Hakkinen is working on it with me. You're going to do VRAW this year. 2021, what's your plans?
2021 will be real life raw.
Real life raw.
Yeah. And then
2022
would be real life RAM.
Okay, very good. Now, we always have some people around who haven't heard all these acronyms. When we talk about RAW, we're talking about Race Across the West, which goes from Oceanside, California to Durango, California. It's not quite
Colorado.
not quite 1,000 miles. It's pretty close.
It's Durango, Colorado.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Durango, Colorado. Not quite 1,000 miles, as I recall. Follows the exact same route as RAM and starts just a few minutes before.
That's right.
And then, of course, RAM is the Race Across America, which goes from Oceanside to Annapolis, which is 3,000 plus.
Yep.
It changes a little bit every year because the route has to change here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So you've got a plan in place, and we're going to be watching you, Rick, as you ride along. How has you worked with this company? How has the pandemic, the shutdown, affected you? I know you work from home, but has it made you busier or less busy, or what are the challenges you've had?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. We were fortunate enough to have several clients, actually 3 that we've been involved with fairly long-term projects. A lot of our strategic planning work happens in 3 months. We have other projects that last 6, 7, 8, 9 months sometimes. And so we're fortunate enough to have a couple of clients right now where we've been working on their projects through this pandemic. So we've switched all our meetings to virtual. We're doing everything on Zoom, and it's actually worked out really well. We did apply for a PPP loan because typically nonprofits are not hiring consultants during a time like this because they've got everything on hold. They're trying to figure out how to get out of this mess themselves. And so we did get a PPP loan that covers us for a couple of months. And then over the past 30 days, we've had a bunch of RFPs come in. So we are sending out proposals for work that should start in the next 2 or 3 months. So I think we're going to be okay.
We wish you the best in all that. And we wish you the best in your VRAW this year. We'll be watching to see how you're doing. Team Z. When I looked at the roster 2 days ago, you couldn't see anybody's name except find them on the map. So today their names appeared.
Yep.
But there was no way to figure out what their real name was. Some people had their real name in. Some people well enough to know, well, that's so-and-so because, but so correct. I thought, how are we going to report on this daggone thing if I don't know who we're talking about? But
and I think even if it, the names on the leaderboard for dot watching and things will probably be each person's username with their full gas, membership account. But I think we can probably get you a list of, usernames and their corresponding real names so that it'll be easier for you to track that.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Well, they had to build this dot watching thing on the fly.
That's what I wanted to say. Let's not criticize them too much. 6 weeks ago, or 8 weeks ago, I don't know how far back we're going, but it can't be more than 8 weeks. Maybe 6 would be better. We didn't have nothing, did we?
There was nothing. No.
And these guys down in Australia grabbed this by the tail. And I understand from talking to Rupert that they've been working day and night down there around the clock, maybe getting less sleep than you get on a bicycle, trying to put this thing together. So my apologies for grumbling. I understand. We think you'll probably get it all worked out. Rick, thanks for being with us. Good luck.
Thank you, Lee, very much. I've enjoyed being here. It's always good to see you.
Just want to say a word. We kind of passed over your multiple sclerosis work, $4.5 million. That's absolutely remarkable. And again, down in the show notes, you'll see some more about that. Okay?
Yep, that's great.
Okay, thanks a lot, Rick.
Thank you, Lee. We'll see you soon.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.